MLB Central is presented by Capital One, and we are live from London. Let's round the bases. 11, count them, 11 straight wins for the Cincinnati Reds. First place in the Central. I'm so curious, D-Ro, if you think talent-wise this has staying power. I think you're going to say yes, because we see teams that don't expect to be hot, right? Like the Pirates early on get hot over a big stretch. This feels different.
Yeah, I think there's some according to Dan O'Dowd, some aircraft carrier type players in De La Cruz and Joey Votto coming back, and McClain and
Jonathan
India. I mean, the list goes on.
But were they on your radar before this year?
But the collective.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Ellie De La Cruz is a special player.
Star.
Special player. But here's what I want to say. I don't think they have to do dramatic things at the deadline. I think they could expedite the pitching staff. It was going to be Hunter Green and Nick Lodolo. Hunter Green's had the little hip impingement.
Yeah.
Nick Lodolo's had the stress fracture. Oops, I didn't know you had Andrew Abbott hanging out in the minor leagues. He came up yesterday, finally gave up a run, but he was still dominant. 10 punch outs. He's got an ERA just a smidge over 1.
Longest win streak since 1957.
And they have a lockdown closer. So it's an 8-inning game.
Now, they are off today, and then that winning streak is going to get put to the severe test of the Atlanta Braves this weekend. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see how they handle this weekend against the Atlanta Braves. Another team that's on a very significant winning streak, of course, the San Francisco Giants. They have reached double figures as they make it 3 in a row over the San Diego Padres last night. They're back at it later today in San Francisco. But, as I said, the Giants now 10 in a row, and now firmly into the mix in the National League West standings. And we're going to hear from Corbin Carroll as part of the first place Diamondbacks a little bit later here on MLB Central. But what do you make of the Giants?
You got to love on the fact that they're 10 games over 500 and playing as a unit. The lineup flows. The starting pitching's good. They have lockdown bullpen in Doval. I think for me, I'd love to ask Gabe Kapler, did he think the 100? He'll say no, but 2 years ago it was 107 wins and a division title, and then last year they took a dramatic step back, and now they're taking a dramatic. It's like a lot of peak valley. Who are they?
Yeah.
I just
you got 2021 vibes from them when they won 107, or not too early?
I think it's a little bit too early yet. I still think, and maybe I am the fool, but I still think the Padres got a run in them, and I think the Diamondbacks got some staying power.
Yeah.
And how can
107 wins. Remember that?
And how can
the Dodgers had 106?
Yes.
The only time they ever won the division in the last 10 years.
You can't doubt the Dodgers, too.
Never.
For sure. Now, as part of that San Francisco Giants win, there was a little bit of controversy. Let's show you this play. Gary Sanchez applying the tag on Blake Sabol, who was trying to score. Jock Peterson, base hit, and then the play at the plate. Bob Melvin came out, eventually was ejected. The call was overturned. They ruled that Gary Sanchez was
in the line of sight, in baseline,
blocking the base path. Well, here's the explanation that the supervisor gave after the game on what happened at that play. After reviewing all relevant angles, the replay official definitively determined that the catcher, Gary Sanchez, was in violation of the home plate collision rule. The catcher's initial positioning was illegal, and his subsequent actions while not in possession of the ball hindered and impeded the runner's path to home plate. The call is overturned. The runner is safe. Here's Padres manager Bob Melvin on what he saw.
I think all the way around. The base runner's way down the line towards their dugout. At some point in time, you have to go get him. The throw took him up the line as well. Based on where he started, it looked like they showed the replay from when the throw was already on the way. And as a catcher, you have to have some feel for that. You got to also understand the impact and where the runner was. And it just, to me, was just one of the worst calls I've seen this year. You never know where the game's going to go, but at that point in time, it's 1-0. Use out of the inning. And there aren't 3 more runs on the board.
The floor is yours, Mark DeRosa.
I'll say this. I definitely can understand that one being called a little bit more than the Jonah Heim.
Correct.
Bruce Bochy, Texas Rangers, 2 days ago. But that being said, what is Gary's...
This is the play you're talking about.
This is the play I'm talking about. You want to give a guy a clean lane. He's giving him the whole inside half of the plate. I mean, if you can't take that lane... Yeah, I can't help you. Here's my rub. and I agree with Bob Melvin again. Where's Gary Sanchez? What's he supposed to do? Just let the ball go to the back net?
That's
in the run score? Like, is he not supposed to attack and catch the ball? Is he supposed to go meet him halfway on the ground? There's no other play for him to make. How can you? I just don't get it. I don't get it. He's got a clean lane to the plate right there. There's nowhere. I mean this. Can we get some pictures in these rule books with some honest descriptions of what these guys are looking at? So maybe reading the rule, we have a tough time determining the verbiage, right? I mean, can you throw a section like in some good books? We just go right to the pictures?
Some pictures? Yeah, I like the little pictures. Oh, by the way, Bob, in the last 2 nights, the guys that have been chucked on this play, Bob Melvin and Bruce Bochy's 2 former catchers. So
there's just no other play for Gary Sanchez to make. So it's illegal for him to catch the ball there. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's he supposed to do?
Picture books were the best, weren't they? Like two words on each page.
Yeah. It's like Dave Martinez holding up the picture the other day.
And then the teacher gives you this.
And you understand it.
The hungry caterpillar.
That's it.
Hey, coming up next, this plate that I don't even know how to intro this because it's D-Rose forever in his mind. But it's Mike Trout against Shohei Ohtani. And Mike Trout was on Mookie Betts' podcast and was asked exactly his mindset in this play and in this moment, what he was trying to do. Listen to his answer.
Boom, now you're walking to the plate. What's going through your mind, bro? What's going through Mike Trout's mind?
I got to go deep here. You know, I'm gonna be real with you. I got to go deep here. I think it might have messed me up because it took me out of my approach, but there was one thing on my mind. I was trying to take him deep. I mean, there's no other explanation. You know? I mean, you know how it is.
I know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly.
And I think one time, I think I've gone deep, like go up to the plate and I'm like, hey, I got to hit a homer here. I think I did it one time my whole career.
That's what I'm saying. We say it all the time.
And I did it when I hit for the cycle.
Oh, okay.
My last at bat, I said, hey, it was a 2-0 pitch. I said, this is it. If I'm going to do it right here, and I hit a homer. But other than that, I'm going to get out.
That shaved head looks dangerous.
What were you thinking at that
What
moment?
was I thinking? You know what, Lauren? We had multiple opportunities to score. We had first and second, nobody out in the 5th.
I remember.
We had first and second, nobody out.
We were texting.
In the 6th or 7th. It did not come down. The baseball world won by that climactic ending. I felt it was super unfair for Mike Trout to I know he's trying to take him deep, but we're 2 weeks into spring training, and Shohei was throwing 101 with a sweeper. Watch where this pitch starts. Good God. There's not a human alive that was going to hit him in that moment right there. So, and also the class with which both of the gentlemen handled it. Shohei on his side, Mike on his side, to just wear that, honor his teammate, walk into the clubhouse, give the boys a hug, keep it moving. It rolled off his back. I thought he handled it great.
Well, Trout and Ohtani, of course, back together with the Angels, and the Angels blanked in consecutive games by the Los Angeles Dodgers, including last night. The Angels in the 2 games in the Freeway Series did not score a run. They were shut out again. Shohei Ohtani got the start for the Angels and had a season-high 12 strikeouts, oh, by the way, but D-Row not enough for the Angels to get a win last night.
Yeah, I think you never want to waste a Shohei Ohtani start, but that being said, the Angels have played a nice brand of ball up until this point. I think the bigger question is for the Dodgers. They got to get their offense going. They got to figure out a starting rotation. They have just been ripped apart by the injury bug for their starting rotation. I mean, they were bullpen in that game pretty much at him yesterday and took on Shohei and beat him. So I put nothing past the Dodgers. My heart's with Phil Nevin and the Angels. I want to see them play good baseball, and I know Perry Manassian is going to do something at the deadline to expedite this process.
Speaking of the Dodgers, guess who they have coming to town this weekend? America's team, the Houston Astros.
No, it's the Reds. America's
That's right.
The Reds and the Cowboys.
Dodgers, Astros this weekend at Dodger Stadium.